basically, Kindle's removing the ability for you to be able to download your own books.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means that companies are trying to push what they're being able to get away with when it comes to ownership. It's really annoying. These stupid ads that you see in the front, you can get rid of that.
Oh, you get rid of that.
Without paying $20.
Without paying $20.
Ha!
So you can get rid of that. And then you can get rid of so you can get rid of that, and then you can also put in your own custom thing. I've seen some people do like some like anime artwork on here, or
that's
you can have the cover that with the reading. It's really, really neat.
What's going on, everybody? Stubbs here from Retro Handhelds. We are back at it again today with another fun offline guest episode. We're here with Dammit Jeff today. Jeff is a tech enthusiast and YouTuber with the channel amassing well over 280,000 subscribers now. His videos primarily focus on modding, disassembling, and repairing various tech and gaming gadgets, doodads, along with sharing his passion for the things that he loves. Welcome, Jeff, sir.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Is it Dammit Jeff, or is it Dammit Jeff?
It's supposed to be. It's supposed to, you got to do it with like the arm hook thing. Otherwise, it doesn't really.
Damn it, Jeff.
Fun. Yeah. You got to. Yeah, there you go.
Well,
that's how you're supposed to say it.
Well, damn it, Jeff. Also, your videos, which are awesome, by the way, I've been consuming a lot of them recently. You and I were introduced at CES from our good buddy Russ from Retro Game Core. We met at the barcade where we shared a drink, and you were pretty sure my name was Kevin. And by the end of our conversation, you're such a good influencer. By the end of our conversation, I thought my name was Kevin.
Good.
That's beautiful.
We're now, in fact, and it was funny, dude, because we had other people there, like our writer Andrew was there, and a lot of our other YouTube friends. And I was saying that you're going to be on the show, and they're like, "Wait a minute, Dammit Jeff was at the barcade. I could have met him. I could have said hi to him." And I was like, "Yeah, he was right there." And I showed him a picture, like, "Oh no!" So we hope that you come back and join us for a live episode as well, to just shoot the breeze and get into shenanigans with us. But in the meantime, I'm stoked to have you here, everybody. This is going to be a little bit more focused interview-based episode. We're going to kind of pilot out a more focused guest experience, because you get enough of our shenanigans on the weekly. Like, let's really dive deep with the guest. And have multiple different types on. We'll have developers on, and so we're going to start more of a focused guest interview. Let us know what you think. But Jeff here, if you haven't been introduced to his channel, he's at Dammit Jeff on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Blue Sky. And Jeff's videos often feature him modding consoles, handhelds, and accessories. And some of his projects, you should really check this out, include customizing like a lavender Joy-Con for the Switch, hacking Alarmo recently. I saw that.
I love that one. Yeah.
Doom on there. Also hacking all kinds of devices like the PS5, even Kindle, Winlator on like your Red Magic phone or your smartphone or your retro handheld, and retrospectives on things like the Xperia Play, which Rob has today on hand, because he always
absolutely.
So I feel like you guys are going to be fast friends. But anyways, we also have Rob here, of course.
Hi, everyone.
His handsome face is right there. He's got a brand new digs back there.
Oh, yeah.
That's super mean.
I'm digging it. I'm digging the digs.
Don't make puns on this show, Rob. All right, guys. Well, to get us started today, what have we all been up to? Rob, starting with you, man. What have you been doing since we last saw?
The game of life. The game of life. I pressure washed my entire house yesterday, today, and taped up the windows. We're getting ready to paint the whole house. So, all the fun stuff of home ownership.
What hue?
What hue?
What hue?
Are you refer to
Is gray a hue?
It's a choice. Yeah, it's definitely an option.
It's grayish color for the base. We got pop outs. We got all the fun stuff. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna look good. Cool. It won't look like peachy vomit Arizona colors like everyone else does. So
like that Adobe.
Well, even worse than that. Even worse.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
you guys have that weird shade of yellow over there.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's not.
Or it's like this weird peachy white color, and it's just they painted all the houses like that 20 years ago. Nowadays people are starting to experiment more, but it's just like why these colors? It's awful. So we're trying to do a little bit something different.
Very cool. Yeah. Very nice.
That's fair. I mean, gray will actually stand out. I was thinking it's gray, it's muted, but in Arizona that's going to stand right out. People are.
Well, we have
whose house is that?
We have the tile roof and stuff, so it will look nice. We have pop outs, so it'll be a little bit different color. So having some fun with the home design stuff. Yeah, home ownership. It's just tons of fun.
It never ends.
It never ends. No, it never ends. Yeah.
I'd like to report that I've had no crises in my studio this week. There's been no floods, no fires, no weird smells. And it's okay. Please stay that way, but everything's stable.
You got to knock on wood there.
Knock on wood. But homeowner.
It is the start of a new week, so
yeah. Well, that's why I always keep my lucky tree crystal around. It protects me from all the bad things in the world.
I don't have anything lucky to keep around. I don't know.
You have Super Meat Boy, dude.
Does this count the shield? Maybe that
the NVIDIA Shield
protect me.
It has the Tegra. It has the integrity of protection.
There you go. Yeah,
and it has an actual shield on it too. I mean, it actually comes off.
People may not know this, but the NVIDIA Shield is the original prototype for the Nintendo Switch, more or less.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah, same ship, I think, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
NVIDIA signed that deal with Nintendo, and they stopped making their things. And I really think it was the lead up to the Switch.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're working the mobile space in terms of just the Tegra architecture and all that. It was definitely the key to getting that Switch going.
Rob, which pooch do you got with you today?
That is Nala behind me, and she's enjoying this stick that's like. I mean, I can't even show you. It's bigger than what I'm showing you here, basically. So it's just.
I always appreciate a good stick to chew on, I mean, not for me,
I bet you do.
For my dog. Yeah, no, well, I can vicariously be like, you're really enjoying that, aren't you? And I have Zoe outside. Jeff, you have pets too, though. You have a dog and a cat, right?
I do. Yes, I have both a dog and a cat. Both are rescues from the street. It's kind of
nice. Very awesome.
We were watching your live stream earlier. Your cat Lulu, right?
Yes, we call it Lulu or Lucy. We call it Lucy.
Her dog's name Lucy.
Yeah, it's like her government name is like Lucille or something, but like it's like Lucy, Lou, last name type thing. Very cool. She has no tail. It's a custom model. I
saw that. Yeah, you got a custom mod job on that one.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Are you doing any further mods to her or any adjustments or?
I'll have to come back to you on that one.
Okay.
But I think we're pretty happy with it right now. Looking like that with just the no tail mod. It's pretty sleek.
Yeah, pretty sleek. She runs at full 60 FPS.
60 FPS, all that,
It's very striking brown eyes. And
yeah. That's right. I also have like a dog. Her name's Leica. She's actually mine because when a girlfriend and I moved in together, it's actually just that was her cat and Leica was my dog, and that's how we kind of she's cool because she's also rescue. But we picked out her name because I remember the first space dog named Leica. And they also picked off that dog off the street. So kind of the same thing, and it became something really cool. And it's my dog.
Have you ever played the Space Dog video game, Good Boy Galaxy for Game Boy Advance?
That's such a great
and PC.
I think I've heard of it. I feel like it would break my heart to go play it. But hold on, Good Boy Dog. You said Good Boy.
Good Boy Galaxy. It's a platformer, and you're in space, and you're a dog with an astronaut costume on, and it's a newer game.
Oh yeah, this is recent for the GBA. Whoa,
it's really good, dude. It's really we recommend it. It's actually one of our games of the month.
It is, yes.
This is cool. I mean, it's always cool seeing people release new games for old consoles like the GBA. Right? This is really neat.
I love the art style, and just it's something. It might be fun to play.
This is actually, I'll probably check this out then because this is really neat.
Right? Wow. Yeah. Support the dev. You know, it's like, I don't know, $20, I think, for the game. And you'll get it for multiple platforms. I think they have it on PC, Game Boy Advance. Anywhere else, Rob?
Evercade. It actually has a physical
Evercade?
Yes, an actual physical cart for Evercade. Yep. That's really cool.
Can you imagine getting carts in 2025?
I love it. I think it's great.
I don't know about you guys, but I have, for some reason, and maybe it's the tariffs, maybe it's all the nonsense going on, but I've started to switch away from my hard stance on digital only, emulation only, and starting to get back into cartridge collecting. It's something really satisfying and really just grounding about that experience, like picking up and holding an NES cartridge or Super NES cartridge and feeling it, putting it in the system. And I picked up an SNES recently, video coming soon. And it just, that tactile feel is such part of that experience, you know?
Yeah. A big part of it for me, honestly, because I'll be honest, just like you, 2020 up until literally 2020, all that. I was a big digital guy. I bought everything digital because I was lazy. I didn't want to go out and get put in a cartridge or whatever for my things. For me, particularly, I'm speaking more like Switch cartridges. Does that make sense?
Yep.
But for me, it was very much like I just want to go get it all. I just have to have one console that has everything on it. And I don't know, the way that things have gone recently, it feels like more and more companies are becoming more bold with what they define as ownership. And it seems so weird to say that now because I used to be a guy that's like, I don't care, whatever. It's like, that's the price I pay for convenience. But now it's like they're crossing lines in ways that we don't even know. Like PlayStation Network can go down and we actually have no access to the games that I own.
That happened recently. Like for PSN was down for a little while, right? And you don't own those games. You can't access those games when you want to play them. And Steam as well said, hey, guess what? You don't own your games. You are buying a license to play the game. And it's like, well, why don't we just go buy the games and own them and hold them in your house? And as long as there's not like a fire, then you're good.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, another reason is just I was able to realize that, hey, once I buy the game and if I hate it, I can't really do anything with it. If I buy the game physically, I can just give it to a friend and or trade it or sell it or let my friend borrow it, give it to my little sister or anything else. A buddy of mine still has my copy of The Division 2 that I gave to him 8 years ago. I have not seen that since. So, that's. But yeah, and my point is, I was able to do that, and I wasn't able to do that before because that's pretty neat.
Have you been into a GameStop recently? I went into a GameStop for the first time, and I want to say 5 years. And you can still trade in your games, and they're taking old retro games now. Like they're taking GBA, they're taking PS1. I walked around the store, and it's not just new gen stuff. It is it's a retro. They're rebranding a lot of them are retro GameStops. But I walked around and saw PS1 games on the shelf, SNES games, NES games, and then they have mod retro chromatic games and newer Evercade stuff, limited run games. And the whole store is tailored towards the retro vibe now, collecting cards and Pokemon Magic the Gathering. I was like, wait, what is going on? GameStop to me in my mind is this sterile corporate entity, and it was like Wonderland. And I don't want to admit to how much I spent on physical games in the last 2 weeks, but there'll be content coming. And it was just wonderful. The nostalgic dopamine hits were off the charts. And I got my son come with me, and he was like, "Dad, what is this?" I'm like, "Son, that's a video game. They come in boxes. And you can interact with them." He's like, "Well, where's the touch screen?"
Oh, okay.
No touch screen.
I also have in my GameStop. I also have that retro section now. I have about 4 different games, but I go to those sections and they have Xbox 360 games and PS3 games up there. And that makes me feel old. I'm like, these came out last year. What are you doing? And then I realized that Left 4 Dead came out, 16, 17 years ago now. So I'm like, oh my God, Jesus. I was really excited though, because I was really excited though, because I did see a lot of the games. I was like, hey, I recognize the game. And I picked up a copy of Left 4 Dead 2, picked it up. I saw it was $40, put it right back down. I said, oh hell no. No, I'm not. No, come on. It's $2 on Steam. What are we doing here?
Well, I mean, yeah, and that's the thing is like we're so used to those Steam deep discount deals, you know. We're like our brains are wired for these Steam sales or like Humble Bundles or itch.io stuff, and you go out and see the physical game, and there is that sticker shock, but you do get to own the game as long as you want. So
that is true. That is true, and specifically on the 360 version, I remember having fond memories of going to my buddy's house after school, and then he had like his dad modded his 360 or something, and we were able to play like modded versions of Left 4 Dead 2 online. It was like such a special type of memory that it's not really replicable anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's my wife's favorite game is Left 4 Dead, and it's like, how do we find time to play that together and bring back that experience, you know, these days with how hectic things get. And it's just like, it gets me back to the question of why do we play games to begin with? Is it for that solo experience? Or is it for like connecting with other people? You know, I'm trying to redefine that for myself lately. Like, why am I doing all this? Or like, what really is the key thing here?
Do you want to go first, Retro Dead?
Sure. I was going to say, I think it could be a little bit of both, honestly. You know, why not, right? It's the memories you make, but spending it with other people and playing multiplayer and all of that, but also those solo experiences can be very memorable as well. So I think a little bit of both is really kind of how I always leaned, but I mean, me
too. And it's like a clear separator in my brain, like multiplayer experiences, you know, which I think of as like GoldenEye or doing co-op runs with my brother growing up. I don't know, every game almost to like, and then I switch it up to like modern gen with my high school friends. And we do like, or my wife, we do Left 4 Dead 4-player co-op, shooting zombies and like those short burst arcade experiences. Like these are all separate compartments in my brain for gaming. Like, okay, I'm entering this brain. I'm putting on this gamer's hat today. Or we're going to do like MMOs and we're going to be adventurers. And that's another gamer's hat that I wear, you know, and that's like a 8-hour experience. I don't know. It's interesting. Jeff, what's your thoughts and feelings?
I feel like the big purpose falls behind what kind of game that I'm playing in terms of either single player or multiplayer. For single player, I do like, for me, it's like experiencing a story or experiencing some sort of narrative that makes me feel like, hey, I can just disassociate from real life for a little bit and pretend that I'm Spider-Man for 2 hours. That's a big part of it for me. But also being able to interact with it as well and like know that you yourself have an impact on what happens in the game, which is like the story doesn't progress unless you do something, unless you touch the controller. And that makes it very different from like a movie or like a TV show that you would otherwise experience, if that makes sense.
Did you play Avowed recently? Have you checked that one out?
Is that one a single player? I don't know why I thought that was a multiplayer for some reason.
I think it's single player only. It's like a Skyrim. It's like a Skyrim light. You know, it's like Skyrim on rails, kind of.
Skyrim on rails. I've heard great things about it. I've heard really great things about it.
Russ was on the show last week, and he was talking about how it's sort of like Thanksgiving character mode. Like your character just gets this cornucopia on its head, and like that's the main thing. Like you're this kind of very colorful character, and like that's the focus, the character customization. And then like, but your decisions in the game affect the story. The physics are a little wonky, like you hit a goblin and it goes flying 40 feet, but that's fine. It's
one of those RPGs.
Yeah, it is focused on like that experience, like you're talking about. And I was watching your Q&A the other day, and you were talking about how Bethesda games really aren't your cup of tea. And I wanted to know more about that. Like, why aren't you into like that Skyrim world or Fallout world?
You know, it's strange because like, on the topic of single player games, I feel like I don't know what is about Bethesda's formula exactly it is, but I do know that like I haven't had issues with this with other open world games. I can play GTA 4, GTA 5. I can play
interesting.
I really liked Cyberpunk was really fun recently. I've been playing Spider-Man. Spider-Man was great. I've been playing Spider-Man 2 right now. These are all open world games that are like able to just go up and down, left and right. Mm-hmm. But it feels like, I don't know, something about the Bethesda where it's like you have to manage both all your weapons and your power-ups and your traveling. I don't know what it is. It feels like it always feels like this is the Bethesda games are the one type of games where I generally do feel like the illusion is kind of dismissed and like, oh, I'm actually just doing busy work. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's an inventory management sim at the end of the day, kind of.
That.
Yeah.
For me, it's always the slight jank to their games that kind of throws me off.
The jank is incredible. I thought I'm surely immune to that. Jank. Yeah, I'm surely immune to that. I tried Starfield like the first time. I was like, I've never had that issue with Bethesda games. So let me try Starfield. Like legit, like 5 minutes in the game, like, soft leave a room. I was like,
yeah. I gave up on Starfield. I like Skyrim a lot, and Fallout like New Vegas was one of my favorites. But Starfield, I could not get into.
It's funny. I used to live right down the road from Bethesda Softworks, so they kind of hit home, and they actually had like an internship program too. I almost took a job there. So
what? I didn't know that.
Could have had a whole different career path, but
you could have fixed Starfield, dude. You could have made it more.
I don't know. I mean, we're talking about 20 years ago. Their games kind of had that signature jank to it.
I like the inventory management aspect, I suppose, just because. Well, at least I used to when I had time in my life to actually play a lot of games. I liked like collecting. So my main thing when I was playing Skyrim was I was collecting the books. I loved going around the world collecting all the different lore books about the game world, and I'd go collect them and put them in my house. And the whole game was like me collecting inside of the game, collecting, because mini games for me are one of my favorite parts of games. Like Might and Magic, I love playing like Archomage, and Final Fantasy VIII, I love playing Triple Triad, whatever mini games they'll give you, Gwent from The Witcher. But collecting books in Skyrim was incredibly satisfying. I'd skip combat sometimes. I'd skip main story progress and just walk around and be like, well, what books you got? And I'd sneak into houses, and I tried to give them a fair price, but the lady wouldn't give me her books. So what am I supposed to do? I got to sneak in there and take them all. Maybe I have to slaughter a village.
Definitely, for all the stuff that I have issues with the Bethesda games, there's another demographic that sees those issues and goes, that's the point. That's the idea. That's the whole.
This is my kind of game.
The whole meat of the sandwich right there.
Right, and you can have it be whatever you want. Like you can have it. Yeah, you can kind of tailor it to your experience, but you're looking for maybe something that is a bit more like, let's just focus on the story, and then the different branches your character can make to influence the story. Like, do you like Baldur's Gate then? Baldur's Gate 3?
Oh man, I haven't tried Baldur's Gate just because I'm not a big D&D kind of guy.
Yep.
I want to get into it though, but like I said, I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't really understand the whole idea of like a D&D type game. I've never really been into that world at all.
It's like very.
Is it just a LARPing? I feel like it's a LARPing. Is it just like LARPing with extra steps?
Yeah, and like in Baldur's Gate, it takes away that aspect of having to manage your dice and like roll for everything. But it is kind of like that. We did a series with I don't know if you've ever seen Tech Dweeb's videos, but he does really cool deep dives on things like this, and he came on the show, and we did like a D&D campaign where I learned how to play D&D over the course of like 3 episodes, and it's really in-depth and very creative, and it's very much what you're talking about, like just focusing on the story progression and affecting the game world, and it's really cool. But for me, even Baldur's Gate, for like my ADHD, is tough to hold my attention because it gets bogged down in the battle system. The battle system is turn-based, like Final Fantasy Tactics, like you're doing one initial move at a time. And I'm like, okay, let's get back to the story. Like, I don't want to be in a battle for 30 minutes. And so it's hard. It's a hard game for me to play. I'm trying to learn.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, it looks very dense for me.
It is dense.
We all got jobs here, so I feel like it's kind of hard to commit to big games like that nowadays. At least for me,
there's never any time. When we were kids, we had the summers and whatnot. We had all the time in the world, but we didn't have the money to buy the games. And now some of us, we work hard for a living, and we might have the time, we might have the money for the games.
Yeah,
but we don't have the time.
No,
I've got lots of ways to play them too.
Oh yeah, dude, several different consoles and handhelds and stuff to play with.
So much. Okay, well, let's see here. I got some questions going here today. I actually wrote questions, Rob.
Well, I was going to say, so you mentioned, is YouTube your full-time job, or is it just okay? Yes. Awesome, yeah,
absolutely. So I started in 2020. I think, I started in 2020. That was like the big part where I finally started uploading videos. And I'll say this again, but it was always just a way to show off my buddies what I was working on. It was literally just, hey, I'm fixing a MacBook this week. Check it out. Look, I just have a camera next to me while I'm doing all this. And then it really quickly grew into something that a lot of people really liked. So I was doing it through college. You know what I mean? I started doing it around the time that like COVID started happening. And here's the thing, I had a direction of where I wanted to go in life. And for me, that was definitely like, I was a graphic designer. I was majoring in graphic design and marketing. And I had an internship where I would make the promotional posters for the county where I used to live. And I would make like cool posters and for the events and stuff like that. COVID happened. They no longer had events. And because they didn't have events, they didn't have any way of, they didn't need a need for a designer. So they laid me off. I was like, damn, okay, that sucks. Well, I'm just going to go into this like YouTube thing and just see what happens if I just keep making more videos. That really popped off 2021 and 2022-ish, I want to say. Yeah, a little early 2022. I started going to university. I was already in university at this point. It wasn't great. I was sleeping in my car 4 days a week just to be able to make it on time over to campus because I went to a commuter school.
Wow!
Shout out Cal State Fullerton.
Hey, I know that school.
yeah. So I was sleeping, and the thing is, it wasn't just me either. There was plenty of other people that I would show up at like 5 a.m, and there's already like 6 of the cars of like kids just like sleeping. I was like,
wow,
damn, it's rough.
Is because traffic is really tough to get there?
Yes, but also a lot of people are coming from different cities as well.
Okay.
So if you leave at like 8 a.m, you're never going to get there on time. It's really strange. But back to the point though. There was a point in YouTube where YouTube started was fortunately sustaining me through college, but then it got to a point where YouTube was making more than what the degree I was going to school for would make me.
Yeah. It's not wild.
Yeah. I didn't know I'll be honest, I didn't know YouTube had the capability of doing that. I thought everyone that was a full-time YouTuber making like $40K a year or something, either $40K a year or $8 million. It's like there was never anything in between.
Yeah, you're either like barely scraping by or you're Mr. Beast.
Yeah, Mr. Beast. Yeah, no in between. That's what I thought YouTube was for the longest time. And then I realized, hey, I can actually do this pretty well. I have some savings. I went to a counselor because I was like, should I drop out? I was really considering like, should I drop out? And then the counselor told me, listen, I have 3 teachers right now, 3 professors sleeping in their cars just to be able to make it here on time. There are plenty of students right now that are just living in their cars right now. You're not the first person to tell me this. If you really have to, just remember you can always come back. This is the one time in my career where I've ever thought of actually saying this, but like, if you have a better avenue, I'd say go for it right now. And I was like, wow, you're the campus like counselor. You should be telling me to stay here.
Right.
Okay. So I withdrew from my classes and I went all in on this. And that was 4 years ago. And yeah, now I live in LA and I have a little apartment and it's just, this is all YouTube. So
yeah. It's all YouTube. Right. And you've jumped up to almost 300,000 followers. I'm sure shortly in the next month or two we're going to be there. How did you? What was your? I have an official question for you about this.
Oh yeah.
What was your journey basically getting here? You know, like what I suppose what got you into tech in the first place to make you interested to make the channel, and also like what was your journey like to get to this where you're at now?
Oh man, well, I was always into tech since I was like a little child. Like that was like my favorite thing to do is just like figure out the next tech thing or play with it or see what kind of games or apps or whatever. I remember there was the Motorola Razr. My dad had one of those. Yeah, and they had little games on them. I forgot what they're called. There's a name for them now. There's like they had games you could buy them for like $3.99 or something.
You're talking about the Java games.
The Java games. No, they were Java games, but there was another name for them. Whatever. The Java games. You know exactly which ones I'm talking about. They're very low grade type
pre-app store games.
Yes, exactly.
And I was like, since I was a kid, I was really into that stuff, but I was always scared of opening them or seeing what they looked like. Like, I feel like revealing anything would feel like I would either break it in a state where I just couldn't afford to fix it, or I would do something that would kind of ruin the magic for me. I had an iPod Touch when I was like 12 years old. I waited until the 2-year warranty on it like completely expired to finally like put Cydia on it or to jailbreak it. Yeah. And I feel like that was so silly of me. I was like, okay, it's done. Okay, now I can go to it. But like if something was gonna happen, I'm just gonna factory restore it. Like it wouldn't be a big deal, whatever. But little me back then, I was like, I don't know.
Wow.
But until like I said, around like 2018, 2019, I had an iPhone 6 really cool phone. My mom dropped it and it just shattered the screen and I couldn't get it fixed. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get a new phone. Why not? College paycheck just came in. Why not? And then I held on to my iPhone 10 for a very long time, but I put that phone back in the drawer. Yeah. When I came back, like maybe 6 or 7 months later, I was like, you know what? It's been a little while. Let's see if there's like a toolkit for this. I looked it up, got a cheap eBay screen for like $15, and then I filmed myself doing it, and I was like, oh, that wasn't bad. That wasn't really all that scary. Let me try that again with like my mom's phone, and I tried it with my mom's phone. I was like, oh, that wasn't bad either. Let me try it with my friend's PS4. I tried with my friend's PS4 Pro. Let me try it with more phones, more iPads, more MacBooks. Let's just try fixing stuff, and little by little, make my little monies. And then I realized it's actually not that scary. I think there's just not a lot of good information or ways that people explain it in a way that makes sense.
Right. Yes.
Dude, modding is so much fun once you get into it. It's the thing people don't understand. I think you're laying it out right here. It's so zen. It's so satisfying to modify, open these devices, disassemble, and just see how they tick. It's so cool.
Mm-hmm. And just see how they kind of like, they function and they work and stuff like that. But again, for me, it was always just like, there was never like a normified explanation for how this stuff worked. There was never like a normie, like, again, there's be sometimes I would look up threads on Reddit and people would just be speaking words I don't understand. I don't know what they're saying. Like, just put the Y000 with the hex bit and put it into the M.2 slot. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, dude. You should say, use this screwdriver right here, the one that looks like a little star. Put that in these parts right here. And then right there, you're going to see a little like rectangle. Pull that out. That was fine. I was like, okay, that makes more sense. So that's basically been my whole mission statement, to just make that type of content and be like, okay, this doesn't have to be super smart. You don't have to sound super smart to understand what's going on. You got it. You got it. You got this. It's really not that hard.
You translate it. Yeah. Just to like everyday, to the normies. Yeah.
I like to say I normify it. I normify the steps. So it makes it easier for people to understand.
Yeah. Shout out a future great YouTube channel name, Normify.
Normify.
Yeah. I feel like your name needs to be Norm though.
Norm?
That'd be great.
Normify channel. Guy named Norm does mods.
Norm's the host.
Yeah.
Opposite of Norm. Breaking the norm.
I love that.
Yep. So what? So you're into this stuff, right? You're stoked on it. What then leads you to be like, all right, I'm going to do this online, and I'm going to start a following, and we're gonna do this.
There's a really specific point, actually. Yeah. So before this, when I would film those little things, I wasn't posting them on YouTube. I was just posting them on Instagram, like Instagram stories. You know what I mean? A little Instagram story that you just like tap on. I just do that, and I'd be like, okay, look, here's the thing. It's very TikTok style now that I think about it, but TikTok wasn't as like huge in 2020, but very TikTok style. I would just like take it apart and just unequip like 1 minute video. And then my friends would like really come back, text me and be like, I really like this. This is really, really cool. You should do like you ever thought about doing YouTube? Like, is that something you're interested in? I was like, I don't know. Like, no, I'll see. Yeah. And then something happened. I don't remember what it was, but like I just said, you know what? I'm just gonna throw up a single video. It's gonna be really easy. It's gonna be a Joy-Con swap. Yeah. And then that one got like 400,000 views or something in like the first like 2 months or something. It was ridiculous. It was like an obscene amount of views.
That's crazy.
And then from there, I just kept going. Yeah.
Yeah, and it gets you. It's that bug, right? It bites you. It's like, oh, people are watching this. Oh, they want to see more. Maybe
they want to see,
and it totally like the dopamine just rushes in, and you're like, all right, let's go bigger, let's go better,
Yes, I think for me, I did have to throughout this journey, I did this like little path. I did have to figure out how to balance. Because it seems like YouTube is there's like a formula to it. So basically, you balance the things you really, really, really want to cover, and things that viewers really, really, really want to see. There's like a middle ground right here. We have to find a balance in between.
Where is it? Yeah.
And so that's what you got to figure out. For me, I kind of have to like sometimes I have to turn down certain projects. I'm just like, I would really like to watch this, but I would really like to do something about this, but it wouldn't really pull views. Like I said, I've done multiple attempts here to try to do videos on the Steam Deck, and it's just like, the audience just isn't there. So as much as I want to cover more stuff, there's better, more established YouTubers that are.
I forget what like the percentage is. They say like, what is it, like 80% where you do like your mainstay stuff, and then it's like 10% is like you experiment, and then you have like passion projects, and it's a little bit of mixture of everything to kind of hit that flow that you want in terms of getting views.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, that 80-20 rule is like implemented throughout everything that I do, and it's like really important to me for sure. So that's like kind of like part of it. It's just been like balancing that. And then there's also the sustainability of it as well, because I've tried to figure out exactly how to keep it sustainable, because if I were to just do things the way I was doing it when I was like in 2020, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work right now.
It doesn't work now. So you got to stick with you got to grow with the algorithm, change with the algorithm, learn what your audience is going to want. Also, shout out to that purple transparent Steam Deck. The extreme rate shell you put on is immaculate. Yeah. It's immaculate.
Excellent color choice.
I just wanted to say that. Like that atomic purple is awesome. Is that that's the LCD or the OLED?
This is the LCD. This is like a launch model. I pre-ordered mine like the day they came out, and I shell swapped it like within like a month of getting it. So.
Well, this is the right podcast to share that, even if it's not like main content on your channel. On this channel, it is. That's beautiful. It's like thank you.
You guys can be really passionate about handhelds.
A little bit,
just a little bit,
just a little. We like especially transparent shells. Like this magic.
Yeah.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah, and it's the G350. Yeah, we love the
new budget king or whatever you want to call it.
So good. Rob, I interrupted you earlier too. What were you going to say?
Oh, was I going to say something? I don't remember anymore.
Like 2 minutes ago now. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. All right.
You're good. No,
all right, then back to Jeff. What happened next?
Oh, right. It's a sustainability part of it because like if I were to make videos like this, like I was in 2020, I would not be here right now. Really? So a lot of it had to figure out like other ways of trying to, you can say grow the algorithm too, but also be like financially sustainable.
Yeah. It's like I was going to ask you about like sponsorships because I know you integrate sponsorships into a lot of your videos, and I'm sure that helps with that sustainability.
Yeah. A lot of it, a lot of people have quips and issues with sponsorships, and I totally understand that. As a viewer, I feel like it would be really not uncomfortable. It'd be really like jarring to have to like watch somebody like take apart a Steam Deck, and then in the middle would be like, "Hey, this video is sponsored by Squarespace." And you're like, wait, what does it have to do with anything? Hold on. My personal take here, and you're gonna start seeing it more often in my content for sure. But I'm really trying to integrate the sponsors in a fun, exciting way that is relevant to the topic, because then I can actually start showing off like, hey, this is like a real world thing, and it's not really something that's like really skippable because it's integral to the part of the video, and it's like really, it's actually really fun and neat. So that's what I've been trying to do recently. Like I said, the Red Magic, right? They wanted to do the video on the phone, right? They told me, I asked, what do they want to do what do you want to do in the video? And they said they just want me to just like do a proper like review, show off the specs, show off the hardware, and like shoot some benchmarks. And I said, that's boring. Can I make it run GTA 5? And it actually took some convincing. It actually took some convincing because they were just like, I don't know if we would be comfortable with that type thing. Like my manager had to really put in like, guys, I promise you, if you let him do this, it's gonna blow up. It's gonna be great. People are gonna want to watch this, and people are gonna remember that the Red Magic is the one that they want for that. And I think that's a good example of how to properly integrate a sponsor that doesn't feel like it's shoehorned in. Right. When it's a part and it's integral to the part of the video itself.
And watching that video, which I recommend everyone watch, it's basically a Winlator tutorial video wrapped inside of a how to run games like GTA 5 on your smartphone, wrapped inside of a Red Magic ad, basically. But it's not just an ad; it's actually a review as well, because you are critiquing the brand in their own sponsored ad, which you said, you're like, hey, you can call me shill, whatever, but hey, there's not all rainbows and puppy dogs here. There's some problems here.
Russ actually kind of like talked me through that, because I recognized that there was some times early on when I first was into YouTube where I remember getting a product that was given to me and thinking, there's some issues with this that I wouldn't use it for. There's some issues that I feel like could be addressed. And Russ kind of told me, he's like, if you feel those types of ways about certain things about a product, don't be afraid to go out and say it. Like, you can say it publicly. For one, it'll bring you credibility up because you're being honest about the things that you feel about it. But also, it's the companies listen. I didn't know that. When you're at the size that people like you and I are right now, people listen. People listen to the things and the critiques that we have, and you'll see it implemented in the next revision or whatever the next version of what you were talking about.
Yes. Yeah.
I personally felt like I never had that type of influence.
But
recently I had an experience, and I won't say which company in particular, but a certain company. I said something about their product. They got back to me and said, hey, we saw that thing you said in your video the other day. Just to let you know, we're looking into that, and we're looking for ways to fix that. I was like, oh my God, wait, you guys aren't mad? Wait, hold on, wait. That's awesome.
Negative feedback is some of the best feedback a brand can ever get. You know what? Because it's going to lead to them to better sales, because they're going to they have a chance now to fix it. It's honest. And, you get sometimes, I remember that too, first starting out, like, hey, if we harp on the device and things we don't like, is the brand's going to hate us. They're not going to want to talk. It's the opposite. They want to be cooperative. More times than not. They want to be
those are typically the best brands to work with. The ones that are receptive to negative or constructive feedback. I mean, nothing is flawless. There's always going to be something, and they should be able to be willing to be receptive to that and take it and learn from it and build a better product with it. That's the whole point. That's what we're here for. So being honest with opinions is critical.
And being fair too, I think.
Yes, there's a way to be constructive, but also be fair about the criticism as well.
Like somehow Gamers Nexus still has a relationship with Asus, but that is an instance where maybe it was a little unfair, but he went so hard that they actually changed their complete policies around returns and taking in devices for warranties stuff, and when you're at that level of influence, you just have that ability to do that, and the brand will still.
It will make them a better brand for it, though.
And it makes them a better brand.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, it will make them a better brand. And guess what? The ones that get their bad behaviors pointed out are the ones that are going to end up being the ones you want to go for, because they're going to be very on top of their products. Like the Ally X, they made very much sure that micro SD was not going to be an issue, because they did not want to be called out on it again. So those are usually the ones you want to go for.
Yeah. No, big time, for sure. Yeah. So a big part of it for me is definitely sustainability, the ability to just make sure that I'm comfortable with the people that I'm working with, the brands that I'm working with, and again, it's there because of them that I'm able to actually still kind of sustain itself, because ad revenue is not going to cut it anymore. No. Not in this day and age, not now.
No, I don't think a lot of people realize that they the ad revenue is just not enough. The AdSense is just not there.
A bad side effect. Let me just mention this real quick, but a bad side effect of the fact that all of us are within the tech niche is that a very good majority of our viewers are aware of things like ad block and things like
exactly
uBlock and YouTube revamps and stuff like that, right? It's not their fault. I'm not mad at them for doing it. If they don't want to use it, it's fine. But just by that alone, our ad revenue is just significantly worse compared to somebody who's doing a beauty channel. You know what I mean?
And people don't know too, beginning of the year, the first quarter of the year always tanks ad revenue and CPM, RPM, whatever. It's just bad right now. And we're hurting too. Our website is doing well. The website ad buys are great, but the YouTube ad buys, not great.
For some reference here, because I think some viewers might understand it, but the reason that it tends to dip after January, I mean, right after once the new year starts, is because most companies tend to make their ad spending being done in November, December, because that's Christmas time, that's the holidays. Once Christmas time and holidays are over, January rolls over, and then they go, well, nobody's going to buy anything. Everyone's already spent their money. Everyone's going to be finished spending for a little while, because no one's going to go out and buy anything right now, and they've managed to find that through data and stuff. So they go, well, what's the point of advertising so hard? We're just going to draw back some of our advertising, and
the marketing dollars are just not there for the beginning of the year. There's nothing to market for, because there's nothing to really sell. People don't buy in the beginning of the year.
People not buying in the beginning of the year. Because they're not. They suck.
No. Yes. So it starts to pick up as time goes on. At least in the U.S. market, you have President's Day and those kind of shopping holidays. That's when people start to want to buy things again. That's when marketers start to kind of pay attention and start throwing more ad revenue that way.
And there's this disconnect too, of people, especially on Reddit. I see this Reddit people get into this conspiracy theory about YouTubers, about hey, these guys and gals are making $30,000 per video.
I've seen some crazy numbers,
and that. So it's the ad revenue. They're all shills. They're just making videos to put the ads in or to add the sponsor. All together told they on average make about 30,000 per video, and it's what?
No.
What?
Maybe if every single person didn't use ad block, or
maybe
even then. I mean, it's just
maybe.
It's. I mean, you're talking about millions of views as well on top of that. I mean, I just don't. Yeah.
And
dollars being there.
And some people are well, if you have a viral short, it's just as good as a viral long form. No. A viral short
don't pay anything.
Don't pay. We have a 7 million viral short, and I think we made $140 total over its lifespan. And it's and that's just because it blew up in India. And then in India, where there are,
oh my god,
it's viral over there.
But
if it was US viral, it'd be a completely different story. Yes. But India viral, is
marketing dollars they pay out less per view if it's like India based, or it also depends on the country where those views are coming from as well. You make more
purchasing
or
power
less.
is really important.
It's a whole thing. But so you have to supplement, right? So you have to do a mixture of ads, the sponsored videos. You find a sponsor for the video, which is awesome how you naturally integrate it. But the other thing is like YouTube memberships, right? Like getting people to subscribe and pay money to your channel in exchange for perks. And I saw your perks. You're offering like 7-minute previews for early watches, right, to your members, which is cool.
That's been a pretty new thing for me, just because my videos, they take a long time to make. They usually do like 20, 25, 30-minute videos.
You're like a 1 month really cadence, right?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, and there's like a 1 month gap in between. So I have maybe like, what sucks is that I could have like a good 10 minutes of this video already finished, done, edited, composed, cleaned up, graded, mixed and everything. And it just has to sit there for 3 weeks while the rest of the video is made. And that's so sad, because like clearly people want to see more, more videos, more parts of the video. So I try to find a way to I make it as cheap as possible. I don't really try to make a profit off of it per se, just because like I think after tax and everything, I get maybe like 80 cents or something off of the membership, the lowest membership. But like, I got a $2 one. $2 gets you the cheapest one, gets you access to like literally everything you ever want to see. Like whenever I'm like finishing up projects, and it seems to be working out because people do want to see. I thought honestly it wouldn't work out. Turns out people really are interested in like seeing the stuff early, and they should be rewarded for that. I just gave out literally just yesterday. I shipped out just as like a perk for the people that do kind of support that. But I gave up a perk, and I just shipped out like a bunch of different like the PS Vita docs. Just
rad.
Them and just send them out for them. Yeah, I just send them out to them. I'm really excited to see what they think, because they're already on their way.
When did you realize that like this one video per month kind of thing was working out for you? Like you could actually, I can actually make a living off this. It's sustainable. Because that's nice to be able to do one video a month and keep that going is awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm not sure, actually. I can't think of a definitive date. I just remember that, I realized somewhere early on where like, and it's purely being given off. It's only working because of just the amount of scale of views that the videos tend to get, where it's just like people will keep coming back and watching it, even if it's like a month away. I'm trying to fix that now, though. I want to do more than like once a month. Sometimes some projects are really big, and I need to find ways to kind of like offset that amount of work onto maybe help with a different person or something like that. I've been considering something like onboarding somebody for a little while now. I think right now the best thing right now for the channel would honestly be a researcher. Editing is not.
I was going to say your videos. I mean, I could tell there's a lot of passion behind them. They're very well researched. It's obvious a lot of thought and attention went into them. So, I mean, that's probably the hardest part, is just putting all that together and getting a video out. Yeah.
And don't you have your researchers in your Discord, right, who are helping you?
Sometimes, every now and then. Like I said, I don't have like anyone specific, but like it is cool because sometimes some viewers will ping me and be like, did you see this? This is cool. And I'm like, oh, sick. Cool. Yeah, I'll check that out. And then I just add it to my thing. I don't have anyone dedicated right now. I think right now that's what I would really want, is somebody who's like a dedicated person that could just like hand them a phone and go like, here, make a run Doom. We'll circle back in like a week. And then we can go over like, how did we do that?
How do we do it? Yeah. So shout out to future researcher for Jeff at Dammit Jeff.
At Dammit Jeff.
Find him.
So a lot of it has to be like like you said, it's only working because of the scale of the projects right now, and they tend to be pretty long, and they tend to be pretty detailed, and they tend to be videos that people keep coming back to try and figure out like, how did this work exactly?
That's
awesome. So all things combined, you have this making a living for you. Do you do any other additional supplemental content creation or like anything else part of the business?
I haven't said anything about this publicly just yet, but I'll just say for now, I'm in the process currently right now. We've as of like last week, we officially started work on this like on paper, but I'm working on launching some sort of physical product this year.
What?
Like a real physical product where I can actually put my name on it and say, this is what I want to do, and people can go and buy it.
Like something you 3D print at home, or
no,
manufacturing?
I manufacture it. You go to a website, you hit place order, and then
no way.
Yeah.
Shout out to my physical product that I make called Stubbs.
Oh, jeez.
I have to share with every guest. I pitch it to you. Well, maybe if you want to shill this, that's fine. Stubbs. It's made in Colorado by my friend Norm. Actually, he could make the Normify channel, but they're just Switch joystick caps basically, and they're a little bit of pain added to it. So these are like, I got this idea from like a yoga mat that you lie on, and has pressure points for acupressure points, and it stimulates the pancreas. Actually, it makes you very happy. This is one called the Ring. It's very painful. I don't recommend it. It's very stabby, but it's, people think it's a joke, but it's, it keeps you focused on the game and it helps with anxiety. So what do you think about, something like that? Or
I feel like that would somehow make me more anxious. Well,
yeah,
I don't know why.
Scared of the pain.
Yeah, well, I'll have someone call you. I think
we'll circle back. We'll
circle back to that one.
Is this going to be your product? Stubbs nubs or something else?
Something maybe just a little bit something less anxiety inducing, but a little less painful.
All right. Well, you know what? That's fine. So no YouTuber, even Bob Wolf was like, I'm not sure about that. That's fine. One day. I can't get anyone to show them yet, but we'll get there. All right. So what are you thinking of making? Is it super NDA right now, or
NDA right now? For sure.
Okay. All right.
But yes, but it's definitely on its way though, and I'm really excited to kind of share it with people, because I think it's something that's really gonna be like, hey, that's made for my audience. You know what I mean? It's made for the people that like to tinker and mod and stuff.
Would it be $4 USD or like the nubs?
Maybe more. I'm going to say more. Are we comparing it to the price value of Stubbs and nubs?
Everything's coming back to shield my nubs on this channel. That's mainly the point of the channel.
Damn.
No, it was kind of a joke that became a real product. I just have fun with that. Okay, so that's cool. Everyone stay tuned for what Jeff's going to make.
I'm excited.
And I'm excited. Yeah. I'm going to stop asking questions because I don't want you to.
Yeah, I really wish I could say more right now.
I know.
I just.
All right, fine. Let me pivot. Let's see. Going through the Rolodex of questions I have for you today. I suppose that is the project you're probably most excited about right now, so we can skip.
Well, I am working on the next video already. If you're kind of interested in that. So, it's actually on this thing, which is kind of interesting. Like I said, this is currently in the works right now. Hey, there it is. There you go. Yeah.
Kindle.
Oh, right. This is like a podcast. I'm working on the Kindle. I'm working on the Kindle right now. The Amazon Kindle. Now, mind you, I'm not a big, despite the hundreds of books behind me, I'm actually not a really big, sit down read kind of guy.
Right.
But my girlfriend is, though. My girlfriend is. And she has a lot of books, and she has a lot of ebooks, and she has a lot of purchase books, and she loves her Kindle. I didn't know anything that was going on with the Kindle DRM situation at all until she managed to bring it up to me. And basically, Kindle is removing the ability for you to be able to download your own books.
I heard about that, yeah.
Yeah.
Which means that, it's another big thing where, again, companies are trying to push what they're being able to get away with when it comes to ownership. It's really annoying.
Bullshit, man.
Yeah. So I found out about it, and basically she said that, hey, you're not going to be able to download the books anymore, because before you'd be able to strip the DRM and download your books and be able to just have them as an EPUB model or an EPUB thing.
Or PDF, any format now.
And that's not going to be a thing anymore, because you can't download them to your PC anymore. So that led me through this rabbit hole of how can I still be able to still keep my ebooks that I purchased or that she purchased, even though this isn't something that's hey, this isn't something that directly affects me, but it affects people that I care about. It affects my girlfriend. It affects my, obviously that she loves to read. And I'm sure there's other people out there.
My wife too, man. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. So I went through this rabbit hole, and then later it came out, and it turns out you can jailbreak these things, and you can do a lot more with them once they're jailbroken. And there's just not a lot of, like I said, not a lot of videos or understanding on how that works or what you can do with it. A big question I kept seeing was what can you do with a jailbroken Kindle anyways? Can it do any Kindle? What happens if it breaks? Can it brick it?
Yeah, you had a community post that was calling this out the other day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the day that I found out, oh my God, you can jailbreak this thing, and then you can do a bunch of cool stuff with it.
Can you Game Boy emulation? What are we talking?
Maybe not Game Boy emulation, but we can do some other stuff. We can do some other smaller games like Backgammon and Snake and
Hangman.
Hey, Snake's good.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna do some GBA on here, but some other really cool stuff. More importantly, just external launchers, external readers, third-party readers that can let you do that. These stupid ads that you see in the front, you can get rid of that.
Oh, you get rid of that
without paying $20.
Without paying $20.
Ha!
So you can get rid of that. And you can get rid of. Yeah. So you can get rid of that, and then you can also put in your own custom thing. I've seen some people do like some like anime artwork on here, or
That's
have
cool.
the cover that puts the reading. It's really, really neat. And most importantly, it lets you execute scripts, lets you have like different apps. I've seen people use this with HomeKit, which is really interesting. Apple HomeKit, Home Assistant, if you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
Bunch of other things too. And that's kind of what I want to cover. That's what I'm working on right now, that little video. Where just like, I'm really excited to show off to people like what you're able to do with these things. And the best part is, here's the best part. Any Kindle on any format from any year, from any generation can be jailbroken.
Really? So you don't just need to buy the latest, greatest Paperwhite or what have you.
Yeah. Or with the big problem that we face in the modding community is that you have to have an older version that hasn't been updated to a specific model, to a specific model or whatever. That's usually the big problem that we have. Where it's just like, if you want to jailbreak a PS5, it needs to be older than 2022 and then have like a specific version of the firmware that hasn't been updated since October of 2021 or something like that. That's not a problem here. I bought this one brand new and I've already jailbroken it. Like that's incredible. It's like, yes, it's very, very nice.
Well, we have 3 Kindles in the house, so I'm going to watch your video and jailbreak every single one, and do everything I'm not supposed to do, because Bezos, honestly, I think he have enough money. I think he has enough.
I think he's all right. I think he's good. He won't miss a few bucks.
He'd be right. That's really cool, man. I mean, I'm trying to think here. I don't know what I'm doing. I guess you know what I'm doing next? I'm doing the Asus Z13 Flow. I'm trying to make a video about that for my side of things, which is this fancy tablet. I don't even know what to do with it yet, but it's very fast, and I could probably jailbreak that. Rob, what are you doing next?
I'm working on RPCS3 on the Odin 2. I've been tested so many games.
Is that like functional right now? I tried the alpha and I couldn't get like.
So this is through Rocknix. It's going to be on the Linux side. Okay. So we're doing RPCS3 on the Linux side, and you know, it's early build, it's a dev build, so it's not quite there yet in terms of stability. But yeah, I mean, some of the games I got running is pretty impressive. It's kind of wild, but I'm tested over like 100 games right now. I'm still working on it. It takes a bit to transfer the games and load them up and everything. It's just, people don't realize like offline, like how much time there is to just test and put all this stuff to get together, the data, like everything. I mean, it's just, some of these videos can take a while to put together. So yeah, that's
you're like Jeff, Rob, where your videos are on a slower cadence as well. And I'm separate from both of you, where I slap together a video in like a day and a half and call it good. But they're also like, they're short videos and they're not very.
I've occasionally done that too. Yeah, I could, if I really wanted to, I could turn out a video in 3 days or whatever, you know. But I'm like, it's not what I want to do though. That's not my style, you know.
You guys have these evergreen videos that last forever, and that continue to do well. Where it's like, at least around here, we don't have time for anything. There's so much new. We're more of a news organization, so I'm always like, well, here's a quick look at what this does. Here's what you could do with it. All right, move on to the next thing.
Yeah, it's like whatever's the hot thing at the moment.
At the moment, and then so like there's these different YouTube strategies, and I think all of them are completely valid. And I would love to stop covering the latest greatest and just take my time on a video for a while, because this sounds way more peaceful to me the way you guys do it.
Well, yeah, I didn't start YouTube to become a reviewer. It just happened to be that I started to review some products, but you're a retrospective guy. It was just a tutorial guy showing people what can be done with certain devices, kind of like something that Jeff does. You know, that's more my style and approach. I'd rather show you, hey, here's this really underpowered Windows handheld, but you know what? You could do a lot with it if you just open up your mind a little bit, you know? And so it all started, you know, with the Win 600, and it kind of just took off from there. But I'm like, yeah, that's definitely more of my thing. I mean, reviewing, it just happened to be that people like my reviews and I get kind of into it, but I don't want to be a reviewer so much.
I don't either sometimes.
I will say, as somebody who, again, does make so super in-depth videos, I want to say it's peaceful, but generally I've had so many times already in the past where we're cutting it down to the wire of the deadline of when this video is supposed to be out. The video is supposed to be out end of the month. And then I'm here January 29th. January 31st at like 6 p.m. still like trying to figure out what's next. Like I gotta edit this out, I gotta do the voiceover for this crap, and then like maybe I post at like 11 p.m. Like it's almost comical how many times this has happened at this point. So like I always have like, I'm always like last minute, even though my projects are super big, because there's always something more I want to cover, and it's like there's never enough time. There's never enough time, so I have to cut out things.
do you see your videos do well with the late night uploads? Because I've been experimenting with that lately, and it's like different than the daytime uploads.
Oh, well, here's my thought process on this. When it comes out, it's gonna maybe not be as powerful, might not be as like great in terms of views or whatever, but eventually the people who are interested legitimately are gonna wake up.
Yes.
They're gonna wake up and they're gonna see this on their phone and they'll be like, oh my God, like new video from Jeff. Cool, see. And then they're gonna click
next
on
morning,
it.
maybe.
Yeah, next morning. And you know, that's for me, that's like, okay, eventually that means the long term overall it's gonna even out. So it doesn't
matter in the long term.
Yeah.
So that's something I had to learn. Yeah, that's something I had to learn. Like a lot of people are like insistent about like those views up front, you know, like, oh, it bombed up front. It's a 10 out of 10 kind of thing. And it's like, in my experience, a lot of my 10 out of 10 videos end up becoming my best performing ones over time.
It's so
just,
crazy.
It needs to find that audience, or people need to find that video. And that's kind of what ends up happening.
I get caught up in that too, where it's like, and again, I'm more of a like, well, let's get the best performance we can in the first 24 hours so we can get the little the dopamine hit from the little celebratory thing, the confetti and the fireworks. Yeah. I was like, I want to see that 1 out of 10 confetti fireworks.
The 2001, you know, like GeoCities graphic.
GeoCities, and I get in my head a little bit, and then I'm like, oh man, I released a 9 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10. I'm like, oh, I'm worthless. I need to give up. I need to give up forever. But then you come back to it in a month, and it's like, oh my God, the video is actually growing, and it's coming to its own. So you can't get focused on this instant gratification that YouTube has set up. You just don't play that game, I think, is the lesson, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's about right.
Yes, sir. Okay, so all right. So besides, tech and gaming, what other like hobbies are you into? I heard you're big into concerts, right? Oh, you have any bands you want to recommend right now?
Oh, big mood. Okay, so I'm going to Just Like Heaven Fest in like 2 months.
The Smiths or the Cure? What is that?
No, that's too old. That's too far. But I do like Smiths and the Cure. I do like Smiths and the Cure, but like different genre.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a festival called Just Like Heaven. Not the. Not the. I know what you're talking about. Different thing.
Not heard of it.
So it's a festival. It's literally just all 2010s indies bands. Like just
no way.
All the 2010 indie bands. And I think I'm getting to that age now where it's just like, I told myself I would never be this person, but like. Music back in the days, man. Music back. Oh my God.
Are you saying 2010 is back in the day now? That's what is
over a decade ago, dude? I'm sorry. It's been over a decade.
Are you saying MGMT is not the latest, hottest band on the planet?
It is for me, but unfortunately not for everyone.
I was going to say MGMT is sort of that 2010 mark.
You know what? I gotta make a rant video about this on my music side channel. I really do.
See, I'm always up to date. I've got teenage girls. I'm always up to date.
Yeah, my girls are listening to Chaperone, and we're listening to Meghan Trainor is making a big comeback now. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, my girlfriend.
All in your household
for all this stuff. Yeah,
Rose.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, talking like the drums, MGMT, big one, Foster the People, Vampire Weekend,
Foster the People. Yes.
Oh yeah, these are all
Passion
great.
Pit. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Two to Cinema Club, which was like the soundtrack of my teenage years, like genuinely. Slow Dive was really good too. I miss Slow Dive. And just that kind of music. That's kind of where I'm stuck at right now. And I don't know how to get out of it. That's
a good place to be stuck. That's just before the big wave of dubstep indie bands that came in. Like like they mixed those genres together. Where maybe that was I thought it was kind of cool, but maybe it was a mistake. But dude, you just said Passion Pit, and I just went to a happy place in my brain.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I am. Don't get me wrong. I am still kind of caught up with modern stuff, though. I still like my newer stuff. What do you call? Actually, God, can you guys even read that? You guys probably can't read that. Like,
what does that say?
No, you can't read that.
It's quite.
Feminine. It's like, I don't even know how to describe her music. Fuck. It's like really high end, like EDM, like really fast, like EDM type stuff like that.
Really?
That's really cool. It's like, it's brand new. It's brand new stuff. Porter Robinson's really cool too. I'm just looking through all my stuff that I listen to on the daily. Oh, I recently got into Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
Really
look this
weird.
Up. Bad Bunny.
I never heard anyone say Bad Bunny. Let me look this up. I think he's like literally the number one artist like in the world right now.
Puerto Rico, right? Puerto Rican rapper.
Yeah, there you go. Puerto Rico. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess you could call him rap. Yeah, I guess.
What's what Google says? Google says Puerto Rican rapper. I haven't heard of him. King of Latin trap.
There you go. That's what I would say. Yeah, it's like Latin music in general. he's good. I like him now.
Nice.
I've been so that's like, I don't know that that's going to be your type of stuff, but for me it's like it's pretty big.
I like everything.
I love everything.
I mean, yeah.
I think honestly, my favorite band, both back in the day and today, is the Beach Boys. Everybody already knows this, but like they make such happy music that just defies generations and genres. To me, it's like you can find a Beach Boys song that works for literally any mood. And I think honestly, someone coming back with the Beach Boys, like doing some covers, or like just that style of music with all the layered harmonies mixed with today's music, would be incredible. I'm talking Beach Boys trap, Beach Boys dubstep. Let's do that. No one's done that before.
Beach Boys dubstep is great. Beach Boys dubstep.
You know, like I'm picking up good vibration. You know, just with harmony. Come on, somebody out there do that. Rob, you and I are starting a band. Jeff as well.
Oh man,
let's get the.
Oh no! What is he grabbing?
Sorry, I'm very excited right now.
Are you making music right now?
All right, I got the Nectar keyboard. Let's do. So we're doing this. Get the drums going on there. We'll get the. Maybe another day. Music is good. Any other thing you're doing? You're doing gaming. You're doing music. Your cat and your dog. You got your girlfriend. What else? What other check boxes do you have in your life of things you rotate through?
I got that AMC pass. You know, that's pretty cool. I just be doing that every month, every week. I'm just trying to. Oh, it's like the
movie pass.
It's a movie. It's like a movie pass. It just lets you see. They say 3 movies a week, but let's be honest, that's too many movies for anybody reasonable that has any a job or a girlfriend. So it's basically, for me, it's like you get to see as many movies as you want in a month type thing.
Really,
a set rate. And that's what I do. So we just go see all the movies that we want to see. Tonight we're going to go see Mickey 17.
No way.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that, yeah.
You're physically going out to a movie theater.
Yeah, outside and everything.
Outside.
Everything.
Sees the sun.
Sitting down. Seeing the sun.
Down. Yeah. All that. Touching some grass, maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I was just touching grass yesterday. I'm like, dude, this is some great grass.
All right, back inside now.
Yeah. I'm a little, but then it was getting a little chilly, a little cold. And I'm like, I better go inside to feel comfortable. Well, that's really cool. Yeah, I try to take my kids out to movies lately. My son, for the first time, took him to a theater to watch the new Paddington Bear in Peru movie, which, by the way, stars Antonio Banderas, who was still amazing. And the movie is one of the best movies I've seen all year. No joke. It's a kids movie, but it's also made for adults. And there's a lot of stuff in the movie.
They always do that. Yeah.
That makes an adult happy. And it's like an Indiana Jones type movie where they're trying to find the lost city of El Dorado and all this gold and stuff. And it's really, really well done. I can't, movies are getting good again. So we've been trying to do that too. I'll check that out. AMC Pass.
Yeah, the AMC Pass. I'll be honest. I watched a lot of the A24 ones. I was into that stuff like 2016, 2015, when it was like still kind of cool to watch A24 movies.
What's that?
Now they're getting a lot more common. Oh, it's like I don't know how to explain it. How do I explain A24 to somebody? It's a movie production studio thing, right? But for some reason, they first started with like indie. They were kind of like an indie company, but they were kind of like the seal of approval. Like if it has A24, it's probably going to be like a really good, solid movie type thing. Now they just do more mainstream stuff, which I think is interesting. They said they were going to move to more mainstream stuff, but a lot of the stuff is really good. Like I just watched The Brutalist. That was neat.
What's that about?
It's about, I don't want to butcher it here. It's about a designer in the World War II days. That's about it. That's all I remember right now off the top of my head. You really got to watch the movie though. Yeah, it was really cool though. But yeah, A24, really cool though. I like a lot of the A24 movies. That's what I do. Also,
okay, that's cool.
I do. Oh, I just remembered. Not a lot of people know this, but like I'm a big VR guy. I don't.
Quest 3? Quest 3?
Yes, Quest 3.
Quest 3.
Yeah, Quest 3 is like right behind the camera right now. Quest 3. Yes. I'm on there like every week type thing. Like I love VR. I love talking about VR, playing VR, all that stuff. It's awesome. You whipping out something?
Me too, man. Well, I like Quest 3, and then I like doing I'm drop dropping everything. This is the Valve Index. The Valve. I love playing this. I can, it's right here in the studio, but Half-Life Alyx is awesome. And Among Us VR is a lot of fun. And we've been having fun lately. Big VR guy, but it doesn't do well on our channel at all, so I never talk about it.
Me too. Yeah.
But Rob
I would
does.
love to talk about it.
I did. Surprisingly did pretty well, but I only did it once.
It was the Quest 3, right?
It was the Quest 3. Yeah, it was fun. That was a fun video to make. I had a lot of fun doing that one. But it's hard because it's like you have to convey to your audience like your experience of VR, and it's one of those things that are really hard to translate, Yeah.
You put a PSP emulator on this? What the hell? What?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
crazy. What?
Rob is...
My favorite part of that video probably is me getting up from my office, going to get a cup of coffee, and then going out to the backyard and having YouTube playing. I was just trying to convey how good the pass-through has gotten, and I'm like,
really good.
That was one of my favorite things to do. It was a fun video.
It's pretty minimal latency these days, and like the color pass-through.
It's so good. Yeah,
it's so
really
good.
A game changer. Yeah, it's a game changer.
So good. I recently picked up the Quest 2. Was it the 3S? It's the lesser model. And I have yet to even take it out of the box. And I don't know if I will because, well, I was reading about like the lens differences. The pancake lenses you get in the 3, right, are just so much better than the what do they call it? The Fresnel?
Fresnel?
Yeah, the Fresno lenses. Yeah, the Fresno lenses.
Whatever you call it. And so I'm thinking like whatever you pronounce that.
Yeah,
word,
built in Fresno, California.
Yeah. That's right.
Fresno.
I'm like, should I just upgrade? Because not that my family has time to really play with me too much, but I'm like, I should probably get like the equivalent and not give them a lesser experience. Because I'm like, oh, they'll be fine. But really, those lenses,
either way.
They probably won't.
3S is a good experience. It's solid. Yeah.
I'm the one who's anal about this stuff, not them. So I really should not even worry about it. But it came with Batman, so that intrigued me. I want to play that game.
Batman's a cool experience.
Batman is pretty cool.
My big thing for VR was always Beat Saber. God, I love Beat Saber.
Oh,
so much fun.
My wife and I love Beat Saber.
Love Beat Saber. I would sideload all the different songs and tracks and all that stuff. It's so much fun.
And you can make your own beat maps for songs. Like for one of my songs, I tried to make a beat map for it, and it wasn't quite on time, and so I gave up. But you can do so much cool stuff with VR and programming your own stuff too.
Yeah, I'm gonna get bullied if I say what kind of games I play.
What do you play? You get bullied. Like, VR chat? Like, what are you doing?
VR chat, 90% of my time is on VR chat.
Yeah, I like VR chat. It's a good social experience.
You're not alone in that, though. Like a lot of people enjoy that. That's the thing. I mean, it's cool. You could still be sociable in VR. That's the whole thing. Like I remember my buddy and I, we would do like we would watch a movie together, but he was on the other side of the country, and we're in this virtual theater watching a crappy movie together. It's great,
Some of my wife and I, when we were first meeting, some of our first dates were in VR. Like we would go watch movies together.
Oh, that's
awesome. I love that.
Well, back then we just lives were so busy and we wanted to talk to each other more, but all we had timing to meet up was late at night, and we both had kids already. And so like we would meet up in VR and just watch a movie together, like Top Gun or whatever, in big screen.
Did you do this the old arm?
Oh yeah. We did, I put my avatar arm around her and but she really likes shooting games and co-op gaming. And so we would play a lot of what was it, Population 1, basically like the battle royale VR games,
like VR Fortnite.
VR Fortnite, and that was like our bonding moments. And we'd play like cozy games too, but dude, just VR is so incredible. Unfortunately, it's been harder for me lately because I'm getting a little older, and my eyesight's not what it used to be, and glasses are a big pain in my ass now. I just started doing this like last year, and so I need to get contacts or
I was gonna say do contacts. That's what I do.
A company sent me some lenses, correction lenses for my Quest 3. So I'm going to mess with those too, but it's been really a bummer. So I'm trying to figure out how to work my eyes in VR these days.
That's good to hear. Yeah. Like I said, big fan of VR. I really like VR though. I just can't talk about it on the channel because it's like not very great.
Nobody. But this is the right channel to talk about it. People are really open, especially in the podcast, just to talk about anything and everything. This is the right format for it. And people, guess what, will not bully you on this channel if you're into VR chat. Like we're nerds about everything. And I think it's all fair game. But if you're into VR chat, like are you into like anime as well? Like, is that really a genre?
No. That's the one thing I'm not into. Yeah, it's like I'm like direct correlation opposite. There isn't like nothing that I've been anime related that I'm just like, dude, I love this. I don't know what it is. I think it's like a mental hurdle.
Yeah, I can't get into it very well either. I think it's maybe it's the animation versus the live action, but I've been trying to watch Attack on Titan, and I dig it, but it starts to lose me. I guess there's some.
I only have a handful of animes that I like truly really enjoy. I'd say like Cowboy Bebop is one for me. That's but it's more because of the music, the style. It was like really kind of captivating me, but. Yeah, I'm also not like a huge anime guy either. You know, it's interesting.
It's weird because you would think people would be stereotyping us and saying like, "Oh, these guys are in anime, right?" But it's, for some reason, I would say I'm not really.
I really try to get into it. I just doesn't work. I remember I tried watching Attack on Titan with a lady. 6 episodes in, I asked her like, when does it start? Picking up. Right. And then she told me, if 6 episodes in you're not picking it up, it's probably not for you. And I was like, oh my God. Okay, oh, dude. I'm sorry.
That's like Naruto. I watched the whole entire thing of Naruto with my daughter, and it's like, wait, we're like halfway through. This is like 100 episodes in. It's like, only now the story's picking up. What's going on here?
Yeah, and people say Attack on Titan, like season 2 starts to pick up, and I'm in season 2 now. And I would say there's some cool characters get introduced. There's like a big like Sasquatch Titan that gets introduced, and like the people. The main characters like become Titans and all that, and that's interesting. But I still would say it's not there yet for me. Maybe season 3. So I'll
what's funny? I could play the video games. Like I could play anime video games all day, any day. Like I don't care.
Sword Art Online. Yeah,
I could just I could play just like
One Piece.
Anything, any of those style of games. And I'm like, no problem. But the actual show itself, I could probably do without, I
will say I have like one exception to like the whole anime thing, and that's like Studio Ghibli stuff. For some reason, that's like the one exception that I have.
Because
well, there's like masterpieces.
That's not anime. That's art.
Yes.
Okay. It scratches some sort of itch for me. I'm just like, I thoroughly enjoy this, that I haven't found on like any other like TV show or movie or anything like that. So.
I would agree. Like those movies, as well. Like I guess I just don't consider it anime as much as like just.
No. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like a different part of my brain or something. Yeah, I'd agree there.
Yeah, those are fantastic movies. I mean, oh man, I remember sharing that with like my daughter. Just she became hooked on some of those movies. I mean, really like it's amazing how like it stuck with her though. That was the kind of thing that really kind of made me appreciate them in a different way. It's just those movies are something else.
Anyways, do you ever get into these, Jeff? Do you ever get into these emulation-based handhelds, what we call retro handhelds? The sort of the main focus on our channel is these, handhelds, most of them made in China, focused on just emulation. And this one's called the Magic X 028. A lot of fun. It's Android-based, not touchscreen though, but it does play up to, N64, Dreamcast, PSP. Maybe does it go beyond that, Rob? I can't remember. I think that's kind of
that's about I'd say that's where you want to stick around.
Do you get into this stuff much?
So I do. I have like a Retroid Pocket 3 or 3 or somewhere lying around here. Yes. Yeah. I also have the Ioneo Pocket S that I've been playing with a little bit. It's really nice because I've been actually playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 on that because I miss it. And
nice. Good choice. Did you see the remastered games coming out, the 3 and 4?
Yeah. They said they weren't doing career mode for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, and that kind of killed me.
What?
I was like,
I didn't hear that.
No. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, that's a bummer.
But you can play as the Doom character.
Yeah. It seems like they're kind of more focusing on 3, which kills me because 4 was like my first Tony Hawk game.
That makes sense.
They did you dirty.
They really did. But I've been playing with that one, and then like I said, I have my little Steam Deck in case anything. But for me, it's like I do see some of those people that have like 40 different handhelds, and I'm like, I don't know if I need that many to play.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I don't know who would have more than 40 handhelds. Rob, what do you have? 200?
No, I just have 3.
Sure, but what's in the back room?
No, nothing. I don't have anything. What are you talking about?
I definitely don't have.
I haven't seen it. Can't prove it.
I don't have 75 to 100 handhelds.
Yeah, I mean, that's really all I need. I just need like the Ioneo Pocket. It's fine, and then I have my little with the Retroid. Actually, I'll be honest, I haven't touched the Retroid Pocket in like a little while, but
that's okay.
Yeah, that's really it. I mean, and then everything else I kind of just try to play on my phone when I can.
And that's really all you need. And I think that's the sane and rational viewpoint. When you get down the rabbit hole of collecting, though, it's almost like we treat handhelds around here like we treat Pokemon cards,
Mm-hmm.
where we got to catch them all. We don't necessarily play on all of them all the time, but it's nice to know that they're there if we do. And like, you're like, this handheld right here, like this is specifically my I don't know, Chrono Trigger handheld or something. Like just we narrowed down that much to like one game that's our favorite on this.
That's
one
pretty
handheld.
bad.
And we call it the sickness. You know, we do call it the collecting sickness. It weans and wanes. And I made a video recently about how I'm minimizing and I'm getting down to just like the 25 handhelds I love, and people are like, what is wrong with you? 25 is not minimalizing.
No,
come back to us when you can get down to 5. And so my next mission is to get down to 5, like you have maybe. So what 5 do you have, or what's the main ones you do have?
Like I said, Delta on this phone, and then the Retro Pocket S for like PS2 stuff, and then that's about everything else I would want to play. Like it's a little bit more high end. Probably go on my Steam Deck. Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
I was gonna say the reality is
very reasonable.
It covers most of what you'd want to play. I mean, that's the thing. Yeah.
So you don't have like a Linux handheld, like a cheap Anbernic or something, or
Steam Deck?
Just the Steam Deck. Okay, but
I got a.
That's all you need.
Stubbs. That's a Linux handheld.
I know I know you're right. It is a Linux handheld.
Ultimate Linux handheld.
I feel like from the normie perspective, right? At least for me, it's like some tech YouTuber said this handheld can play PS2 and GameCube. It has 2 joysticks and a nice battery, and it's portable. And I said, okay,
that's it.
What more do I need?
It's true.
And then, but then everyone else kind of stuck behind and said, oh, well, actually, I need you to make 40 more revisions of these handheld. And I'm just like, I don't know about that. It's so funny because the Aya that I have was actually, hold on, let me explain this. The Aya Neo, like, it's so funny. The Aya Neo was actually given to me, and was given to me because by Aya Neo, because they said, hey, we want to do a review. I kind of wanted to lead into the idea of doing handheld stuff on the channel.
Yes.
And I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. Why not? I'll give it a shot. I got it, and then I started doing my review. 2 days after I started working on it, they announced 3 more handhelds, like a little Aya Neo Micro, and then an Aya Neo Vertical, and then
the biggest problem with this company, they are still shipping product and announcing new product.
That's why we have this sign we keep around called "Days Since Last E-Waste Purchase."
I have the Anbernic version.
I love that. That's exactly what I'm. So I'm just like, how am I supposed to make a video?
You can't.
And it's like
they're gonna
you already admitted that this one is flawed. You're just like, that one's all right. This one is the new one that you think you should focus on. And
3 times a month, 2 to 3 times a month,
3 times a month, every 2 weeks. It's crazy. They emailed me saying are you interested in this new one? I was like, guys, I just opened the box of the one you sent me.
See, this is why I've never done a video on an Aya Neo product.
Dude, Jeff is helping us touch so much grass right now, because this is our lives, and we get caught up in those review cycles, and eventually we get normalized to that cycle. By the way, it's madness, I know, but we do, because the brands are like, well, now this is coming out, and Anbernic is even worse. They're like, they're at least 1 handheld a month. Lately, a little bit slower.
I recall, Anbernic had a really weird moment where I was following them, and then they made how about this? They made a little vertical handheld.
Yes.
And then they made a horizontal handheld that was a square in the middle.
Yes.
And then they added a horizontal handheld that was a rectangle, the screen was actually a rectangle.
Yes.
And then they added another one where they did the vertical one again, but this time they added a second second joystick.
I love this.
And I was thinking to myself, I was like, who the hell watched this and said, damn, you know what? I was going to pick this one up, but it doesn't have a second D-pad and it's vertical. And then I wrote in the comments and I see some dude saying oh my God, I wanted exactly this, but with a second D-pad and it's vertical. This is exactly what I've been waiting for.
And they're always monitoring and listening.
Model.
That's their business. They read YouTube comments and they're like, oh, there's the next handheld. And they somehow have the team to make it and bring it to market within 2 weeks.
Like a week.
And I'm like, that's the weirdest thing. I don't know.
They'll have their competitors announce a product, and then a week later they'll have their version, and it's ready shipping.
This is why I never have time to make in depth anything, because I'm like, oh, the Anbernic's like, oh, we're sending you 2 more handhelds. There you go. And I'm like, what the hell? All right, here's what this one does. Why should you buy it? I don't know. Oh, here's another one tomorrow.
Sorry, this one just came in the mail right now. Sorry, it just got delivered.
Literally,
this one's good. It's
while we're on the podcast, new ones show up.
Oh man,
it's madness.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're all insane around here.
From the normie side, I think Steam Deck is hey, solves all your problems, baby. And
it's true.
Delta for your phone, and then that's really all I need.
You're entirely out of the pull to get the latest greatest in the scene here. That's honestly incredible. I wonder then. You do have the iNeo. Are you keeping the iNeo Pocket S? Is that one that you're?
Yes, because it sent me the wrong one because it was actually supposed to send me a different handheld.
Which one? The micro or the?
It was the foldy one, the one that was like a DS but like a PC kind of thing.
No way.
That's the one we were supposed to do it.
The one that they announced that they were going to discontinue and then
So So it's all around. It's just like, man, I can't catch up. I can't catch a break with these handhelds. So I just kind of gave up on that. There's other people that are way better at like streamlining this process, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and Russ really is kind of the leader in our space as far as this niche goes. And we're more covering, of course, the news and like, oh, here's the thing, and now here's the new thing, now here's the new thing. But I gotta say, man, like I'm leaning more your direction now, where I want to push back and get to that point of, because why did I get into this? I got into this hobby to find the one handheld. I love the Retroid Pocket 2. That's what started this whole channel and started the whole community for us. But it wasn't perfect. And now I'm like, what's the perfect handheld? And I'm totally lost in the weeds now of like, well, we have 500 handhelds to choose from now, 5 years later. What is the one handheld that you need? And I think the answer probably still is the Steam Deck, really. If you were to pick one handheld.
Hey, Stubbs, you know better than that. It's what I always say. It's the one you always have with you.
The phone. And Tech Tweep said that too. Yeah, it's.
I'm just saying that's really what it comes down to, right? That's why so many people game on a phone.
Yeah,
because they always have it with them. It's just the reality of it.
Oh, dude, I gotta pull this out.
I mean, this one can run like Doom and stuff.
But
it's everything. Yeah, I mean,
like get a telescopic controller. I don't know if you've ever seen. You have a backbone, but like here's the GameSir bedazzled P color here, Thanos controller. And it's like
the big old Thanos on the back.
GameSir G8 Plus, and oh man, fingerprints drive me nuts. But you just whatever telescopic you like, and there's your device. You have it with you. It's Android. It's so powerful. It's a computer basically. You can do DeX mode. You can do whatever you want, and it plays well up to PS3 now with RPCS3. Why else would you need something? But then these darn cute ones come out, these little $30 Linux handhelds. Look at this. It's all transparent. And I upgraded.
You mean like this beautiful pink and white. Look at this thing.
Battle XP G350 there. It's a little cheapo.
Love it.
It still plays up to N64 Dreamcast. Yeah, and this one too. And I modded it recently and added like these slope shoulder buttons, a little PlayStation logo. You can upgrade the battery. You can put some little joystick caps on.
I think that's the idea for me, is that like somebody can pick up one of those and be like, oh, this is great, this is awesome. I think the issue is like when somebody goes, this is great, this is awesome. Wait, they just dropped the one with a second D-pad though.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. And then they go buy that one. Yeah, and then this one's like, oh, this one's garbage. It's useless piece of crap. Who wants it? And then they go buy that one, and then they spend 2 months setting that one up with the proper Batocera or the proper emulation station set up with all their ROMs laid up exactly like organized the way they wanted to.
Yes.
And they're running the perfect custom format so they can run Linux games on it.
Yep.
And then doing all that right, and then be like, great. What do we do now?
Right. And then that's the game. The enjoyment is setting it up, and then it's good to go. And then it's ready to go, but now the new one's out, so you don't need this anymore. So let's do it all again.
Yeah.
And that's the madness we all get caught up in around here. But I gotta say, this one's been out a while, and I can't say I use it a ton, but it's the cutest, and I can't let go of it because look at it.
Yeah,
it's adorable. It's adorable, but it is e-waste at the end of the day. Probably people could consider it e-waste. So lately, at least for me, Jeff, I've been getting back into the OG.
That's right. That's right.
It's like PSP 1000 with the new IPS mod, and that's fun. And we got like Mega Man in there, whatever. Like that's. Why do I need that? Why do I need OEM stuff? Is it just nostalgia biting me, saying like, hey, we need to enjoy this. We need to just embrace this culture and just enjoy the new things, enjoy the old things. I have too many handhelds. I'll admit that. Too many. So let me learn from you. Let me ask you a question we ask every guest, though. If you 3 handhelds, I want you to pick 3 handhelds or 3 gaming devices. We do a segment called Adore, Keep, Delete. It's been a while. Rob, remember this one?
Oh, yeah.
But
one of my favorite segments.
It's like Mary Kill, but Adore
for handhelds.
For handhelds or for gaming devices. All right. What one handheld would you adore for one night? What one handheld would you keep for a lifetime? And what one would you delete from existence of all time?
I would say, okay, let's do this. I would say for sure, give me, let's see here. Cause like, okay, I'm going to start with like what do you say? Keep, what is it? The Adore,
keep, delete.
For one
the Vita,
really
for sure.
intimate night.
Yeah. The Vita is such a special console, but it does have like an end, if that makes sense. The Vita has a special console with special hardware, special design. It's a wonderful little thing that can do a lot. And I feel like it's underappreciated for sure. There's a lot of stuff you can do in the modding community with it. They've just kind of kept it alive for so many years after it's been discontinued. Yeah. I love it so much. It has an endpoint though, if that makes sense. It has like it's like you've seen everything you can do with it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Now basically like, you could download Vita games directly to it, which is cool. And you can use it for emulation, but there's probably better options now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. That's what I mean. It's like it could probably use it for emulation, but like there's better ways to get that done.
Yeah.
In terms of like, what is it? Keep,
and then so adore for one night. Keep, you will never let go of it. It is yours forever.
I knew that it was going to be it. Yes.
Reliable. This thing, in spite of everything else that I played, has never ever failed. It might have like shit the bed a few times, but it's still here and it still works and it still runs and it just does everything that I needed to do. And I go, hey, I need you to do this. And it goes, okay, yeah, somebody figured out how to do that already type thing. That's really great. Documentation is really important for me too when it comes to handhelds. Yeah, it's probably all you need. I'm guessing you don't have an Odin by AYN or anything? No, like I said, Retroid is about as far as I get, but like nothing with Linux on it. Yeah. Okay. And then the last one was delete from existence. Like what handheld was like a complete mistake? Switch. Oh, wait, no, complete. Hold on. Wait, a complete mistake is different. Hold on, complete mistake. Oh, okay. Get rid of that like cheese wedge 2DS. Thank you. Oh yeah, the cheese wedge.
You know, it's funny is that has become more appreciated over the years. I feel like
that's wild to me. I think the only reason it's become appreciated more is because like all the 3DSs are $300 now, and the only ones you can get your hands on.
That's probably part of it. Yeah. Yeah. I also think just because it's like indestructible. I mean, think about it. It was really designed for kids. It's just one slab, and it's just. I mean, you could do whatever you want to that thing, and it just works, you know. My daughter enjoyed her 2DS, but the screens are really small these days. You know, and for me, you know, I like bigger screens. Like the 3DS XL is probably what I'd pick for that genre. Mine's the 2DS XL. I like that one a lot.
2DS XL is great too.
I know a lot of people love the 3D feature. For me, I never really used it, so it wasn't able to lose it. You know, I feel like it was good on like Zelda and stuff, but probably
it
was good in certain games for sure. Yeah. All
right, Jeff. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I think that kind of wraps it up for us. It was awesome getting to hang out with you and getting to know you a bit. Where can people find you, or where can I point them to? Just your YouTube channel mainly? Yeah. So you can find me at youtube.com/Dammit Jeff. Yeah, I have it. You just search me up on there, youtube.com. You can see what I do. It's really cool. I think there's something in my video catalog that might pique your interest and go, okay, that seems kind of like something I'm interested in checking out. All my videos are just projects. So you find a project, look through the video, find a project, go, oh, I'm kind of interested in that. So go check it out.
There's a lot of cool stuff in there. Yeah. I recommend it. Yeah, it's great, like binge watching content too. And what's cool is that you release on a slower cadence, so I can actually get through all your videos. You have 50 on the channel right now. I could get through those in a reasonable amount of time. Yes,
which is amazing. So check them out there. Also on Instagram, Blue Sky, and in all the places that you might find Jeff. You'll also find him now on this podcast. So check him out when this episode goes live. And of course, for audio listeners, I hope you're all having a great night or at the gym or whatever you might be doing. I hope you're having fun. Let us know what you think of this format. Do you like these deeper dive interviews where we focus really on what the guest is up to? Do you want a little more news? We can kind of tweak this algorithm, tweak this thing as we go along this year for season 5 here. And we're having a lot of fun. Last question, Jeff, is before the show, you were talking about, what you were asking me off the cuff, like what handheld do we recommend to you to pick up to get into? You want, maybe if you were to get a Steam Deck, but like a better Steam Deck? A little more power behind it. Yeah, because while I love my Steam Deck, right, it's about 3 years old now, and I feel like the scene is kind of like evolutionized since then. It's been upgraded at least a few times at this point. And while I like the hardware of this, I feel like
the power inside is starting to kind of hit its limits a little bit, for me at least.
You're starting to see that in certain games.
You are.
Sure.
For me. So
you are. So
like, you were saying Spider-Man 2, you were playing that, and that's probably an example of like where we're at that right at the absolute limit of what the Steam Deck can really handle, and that game is probably a good example of it.
Yeah.
And following up on the Steam Deck, you know what? People call me an MSI shill. Maybe I have some MSI dragons in the back there, but the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus, that's a mouthful. Really
work on that name. I'm sorry.
You did. And you, the one you played with that CES there, really, I mean, that's the most powerful. That Lunar Lake chipset is going to do you well. The speakers are phenomenal if you like music. I'm seriously like, I just listened to an MSI Claw Ports speakers, and listening to my favorite music on there is an incredible experience. Game soundtracks are awesome. But really, yeah, the most powerful, not the most comfortable necessarily. And so, I don't know, Rob, did you have a recommendation on top of that? Like
I was going to say the Claw 8, I feel like it is enough of a generational leap over. But I mean, Ally X is still pretty good, but I don't know if it's
Ally X, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, battery life is fantastic on
it. It is.
Beyond that, yeah. I mean,
they both have 80 watt-hour batteries, but like, do you want a bigger screen, the 8-inch screen, or are you okay with a little smaller 7-inch screen?
Well, it depends. Here's the thing, right? The Ally X, I think a bigger screen would be cool, but also like I'd be willing to sacrifice it if it means it's easier to carry around.
Ally X probably then. Yeah.
Do they make like a white one? Because I like the Ally X that I saw like.
So you can do a battery mod actually. So that's something that would appeal to you. You can actually put in the larger battery into the original Ally X. And
dude, you can mod
double the battery life.
You can mod the hell out of the original Ally. That's going to be
something to consider. Look at it, Yeah.
You could, and you can also reshell the Ally X. I'm sure they have extreme rate shells now, or options for modding, because then you're starting out day one with a 80 watt-hour battery. But both the Ally and the Ally X, same chipsets, you can't go wrong there. But the buttons are just much better done on the Ally X. That I would recommend either the Ally X, Ally, or the MSI Claw 8 for your next step up from the deck. Although, Valve, please give us the Steam Deck too. That's what we really want. Or the Lenovo.
I think they're going to push that off as long as they can.
It's true. They're going to support this for a while. Another option for you to consider is, of course, the Lenovo Legion Go S, but not the one out now. It's too much money. But the one coming in May will give you the Steam OS built into it for $500, and that might be nice. But the power, it's not going to be that much above the Steam Deck, unfortunately. So I don't know.
We'll see. I think I like these options though for sure. Either ROG Ally X or the MSI Claw. Like I said, I think I just need more. I need more out of my little handheld right now.
Yeah, I feel
love this
you,
thing,
man.
I'm not throwing this away. I'm not selling this thing. I'm not giving it away. This is mine. This is gonna be my deck. When I remember, I remember in the early 2020s, I had this one.
Back during Prohibition.
Yeah, those were the days,
Well, cool, man. I can't wait to hear where you land in your handheld journey. And I hope you never become a collector like us. Do not get the sickness. And we'll check out your content more and more and follow up with you soon. But everybody, I want to thank you all again so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content to stay in the know for all of your latest, greatest, favorite retro handhelds and to learn about interesting projects going on. As well as thank you so much again to our channel patrons, subs, members. You all make this content possible for us. Perks with RH here start for as little as $3 a month. Join us in our Discord, of course, to chat and play games. And join Rob and I and Ban on the next episode of the podcast where we're going to be nerding out about who knows what, but you'll see it very soon. Until the next one, though, this has been Stubbs on behalf of Rob and Jeff, and Dammit Jeff!
Dammit Jeff!
Saying, take care of those handhelds, everybody, and each other. Bye.
Take care, everyone. Bye.